All right, let's welcome him in.
There we go.
Former NHLer, Stanley Cup winning head coach, former teammate of mine. Craig, how are you, man? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good guys. How are you?
We're good. So
thanks for having me on.
Oh no, thanks for having for making time for us. So where are you? Give us a rundown of what the heck you've been up to in the last little while, and I mean, are we talking to a few teams here and there?
No, I'm just back in the Philly area, to be honest with you, with my family, kids and stuff. Like, they don't come to St. Louis; they just come and visit whenever. So I've been back here for probably a week, 2 weeks now at least, and just kind of spending time at home with the family and running kids around everywhere.
That's I can relate. It. Yeah, it's not too shabby. It must be nice in season to have a minute.
I'm back working.
You probably feel well rested.
Yeah, but so that's really about it right now. Not much going on.
We've been talking about coaching here. We cover the Toronto Maple Leafs fairly closely and the challenges of coaching today and, the evolution of the job. And I just wanted to get your input on that, on what coaching, in 2023, 24 is like compared to maybe what it looked like 5, 10, 15 years ago, what that evolution has been.
Well, I think the league and the way it's set up now with the salary cap is very competitive. You guys all know that. There's not an easy game, and there's a lot of pressure to perform and be consistent and obviously make playoffs and try to do well in playoffs. I think the coaching for me, that's what it's all about. I really do believe that. Now there's a few teams that are in rebuilds, or very young teams that are just trying to improve and get to a certain level. But most teams they're fighting to get to the playoffs and perform in the playoffs.
Craig, when we look at coaches today, and there's so much pressure on everybody, every player, the star players, but coaches as well. It seemed like at times if a coach wasn't comfortable with his roster, a general manager can go out there and make changes, for him, as small as sometimes it can appear publicly. It can make a big difference, whether it's a role player or somewhere in between a star. But it just seems like with so many teams and that inability to make moves, does it amplify the pressure on coaches? Does that put the scrutiny that much more on a coach to have to deliver? And does that make it kind of a scenario where some guys maybe would have lasted longer and not been fired over maybe a GM making a few changes for him?
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, with the salary cap, and everybody's pretty tight to it or over it or wherever they're at. I mean, it's hard to make trades. And I think that you coach you're coaching the team you have, and you're going into that season, basically you're coaching the team you have. And, like I said, you're fighting to get into them playoffs and perform in the playoffs. So I do believe that with the moves. And now there is moves made at the trade deadline and things like that help improve your roster or make you a stronger team. But you got to get to that. You got to get there, and you got to make sure you're in that spot where you're going to make playoffs or you're very close.
So, once you get to those to the postseason, obviously anything can happen. You guys proved that with St. Louis and your Stanley Cup win, which was pretty fantastic. So I'm curious about shaping the coaching you do in season to prepare yourself for that. Here in Toronto, Sheldon Keefe just benched David Kampf sat him for a night and said, this is about accountability. What are your thoughts on different rules for different players? The leash you give a superstar today, is it different than, your lower line guys, or do you believe that sort of the same rules apply across your roster?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think you got to look at every situation is different.
Yeah.
And I think you got to look at, your best player, it's different on every team. I can't answer that question. You got to have a good feel for your team and your players and what's going on with your players. And, there is times you're going to bench your best player. I don't think sitting them, scratching them out of a game is probably a good thing to do. I don't believe that, but there is times that you sit them for a bit during a game if they're not performing at the level they need to be performing, or if they're not playing a team game that you want, then you do have to send a message. I don't care what player it is. But again, every coach is different and every team's different.
I know you've spoken this publicly about the Kyper situation at the end. Did that kind of get blown out of proportion in terms of some thought that there was a ton of friction between the two of you?
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I really like Jordan. What I did was just try to help him the best I can. And there was tough love. There was all kinds of situations where we talked and communicated, and there was times I left him alone and just let him play. But I don't believe there was a lot of friction, to be honest with you. Him and I got along pretty well, I thought, and he just got caught off guard with the question, and then it kind of got blown out of proportion, like you said. Listen, I just want my whole thought process was just to make him a better player and a better team player for us.
Can I just follow it up with one more?
Yep.
So Craig, in a nutshell, we kind of came up in the same era. We played, we competed against each other. How much harder is it for any coach today to hold a player accountable than it was 20 years ago?
Well, I think it's harder for sure. I mean, with money and situation, and again, salary cap, there's a lot that goes into it. You're just not going to trade a good player away like that. I mean, obviously there's players that get moved more likely in the summertime if they want to make a cultural change, then they'll move that player. But when you and I played, it was pretty black and white, and how you had to perform if you wanted to stay in a lineup and stay on that team. I think in today's game, there's a lot more communication that has to go into a coach and a player. You got to really communicate with them and your general manager, and really discuss situations and discuss players. Is it difficult? Yeah, coaching's hard. It's not easy, but at the same time, I missed it already. Do I want to be back in there in a fight and a grind? Yeah, for sure. That's what I like to do. So, I mean, but it is hard at times. That's just part of it.
Well, it is. It's interesting to me. We talk about coaching today, and players maybe are more sensitive, or they want to know why more. Kip, you used to talk about how you were just told, sit in the edge of the bench, or not even told, just you didn't get thrown over the boards. Now players want explanations for things. But I also see a guy like Torts go into Philly, and, I think he's a bit of an old school coach, and they have success. And I see Tocchet go into Vancouver, and he's an honest, straightforward guy with players, I think, and they have a lot of success. What is it about these more hardline, honest coaches that are having success in today's league?
Well, you call them old school coaches, but they've learned over years of coaching and gotten different ideas and different ways of approaching players.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, Torch is doing things differently than he did back when he coached Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm pretty good friends with Torch, and he's done a hell of a job there in Philly. They got a hardworking team that they play a team game. They don't really have superstars in their team. They outwork their opponent, and they try to wear them down, and they win hockey games that way, and it's pretty successful. But I can guarantee you that Torts and Rick Tocchet communicate with their players on a daily basis about what they need to do better, and what's going on with them at their lives, but it can still be black and white, and it should be. It's honesty, right? Just be honest with your player. That's how I've approached my coaching. Is I'm just honest with my players, and sometimes they like it, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes you have fights with them, and sometimes guys just accept it. It's all kinds of things, but again, it's okay. It's all part of the job. When they leave the room it's not like I take it personally. I don't anyhow. Maybe they do a little bit at times, but they shouldn't. It's all constructive criticism. That you want the player to be better. You want them to perform better. And, it's all about the team. And that's the biggest thing is like, what's best for the team? That's the approach that you need to take, in my opinion, because what's best for the team, you're going to have success, right? And that's what you want. That's what everybody wants. So it's all about what's best for the team.
Talking to Craig Berube, former NHLer, Stanley Cup champion, head coach with the St. Louis Blues. And that really hasn't changed over the years. I think in any era, you can sit there and say from Scotty Bowman to Mike Keenan and all these guys, they just wanted to do what's best for the team. But and they were honest with us, but at times brutally honest.
It seemed excessive.
And I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think you got to
listen, Craig. They were like, at no time did I think that they were thinking about me or my teammates and the state of our mental health. Though today, that's realistic for you and your coaches today. And how is that playing in every time you want to address a player? Is that one of the first things on your mind? Is how is he going to react, or do you just tell him the way it is?
Well, I think there's situations during a game where you're not thinking that for sure because you're reacting and you're probably, upset about something or upset about the game. You're up, as a coach, you get fired up. I know I do anyhow. And you probably, say things and not thinking about what the player's going to feel like or what he's going to think. But, it's the next day when you go to talk to the player and you bring him in your office, you gotta talk to him, I think, in the right way and know what's going to make him, feel better about things or what's going to help him. So, but, obviously the emotions get part of you during a game and in between periods at times. And, you do what you got to do. And listen, the players are professionals. They got to get through it and they got to get over it.
Craig, we've been talking a lot about goaltending today. The Leafs have Ilya Samsonov in the minors. They have, a totally different, I guess, duo right now than they started the year with. I mean, how difficult is managing them? Like the goaltending position is so technically outside the realm of most of our understanding, I think, as guys who skated. Did you rely a lot on your goaltending coach to say, here's who should start, here's what we should do with this guy, here's the rest he needs?
Well, he's a big part of it for sure. I think all your coaches are a part of, things. As me as a head coach, I communicated with my coaches, daily and about a lot of things. And goalie coaches, yes, the goalie coach and the head coach should discuss, a little bit of a calendar going forward with the goalies and how you're going to use them. And it changes a little bit, obviously, at times. But, there's a lot of discussion with the goalie coach for sure on what's going on with the goalies and where they're at mentally. Your goalie coach basically has that job of looking after his goalies and making sure they're prepared. And he's going to give you a lot of information because I can guarantee you the goalies are, openly talking to the goalie coach on a daily basis of what's going on, how they're feeling, and what they're thinking.
Hey, Craig, there's no doubt about it. The game's cleaned up so much. 20 years ago, there were 2 Craig Berubes on every team. But there's still some incidences out there that you watch. Nick Cousins, for me, comes to mind the last little while, ticking off a few people. Ryan Hartman's out there causing havoc. I mean, were there times in the last few years you wish you had a Craig Berube on your bench in front of you to send out?
Well, I mean, I would never send a player out, but I would want a player on my team. And we had, a guy like Braden Shen and different guys, Robert Bertuzzo. We had Patty Maroon back in the day. I didn't have to say a word to those guys. They knew exactly what had to be done, and they went and did it.
How did you amass 325 PIMs in Hershey? How does that?
A lot of fights.
Yeah, one had assumed.
Well, I mean, that was my first year in the league, and I was really trying to, I guess, not make a name for myself, but just this is what I had to do to play and move myself up to the NHL. So, it was a hard year for sure, but it was worth it because I think, it was a big part of me getting to the next step and getting to the NHL, that I could do the job. But I'll tell you one thing, I don't miss those days.
No.
Hey, Craig, I got to give a shout out to Bill McCreary, former NHL referee, because there was one night at Madison Square Garden where I did something to piss you off.
Yes, I remember.
And you charged for me like I could see like the smoke coming out of your nostrils, and my eyes are opening up going, I'm a dead man. And he just stepped in right between us and said, hey, Craig, you're done for 10 games. And I'm like, oh my God, Bill, you just saved my life.
I remember that. You know who we can blame for that?
Who's that?
Keith Jones. Because I don't know, you hit somebody. I think you hit Peter Bondra, I believe, maybe. I can't remember, Nicky. But anyways, Jonesy was up, and you hit him. Jim Schadenfeld was the coach. He was yelling. He was all mad and pissed off. And Jonesy was standing up ready to go with the boards. He goes, Chief, you go. So I jumped over, and it cost me 10 games.
I hope he paid your fine. The money you lost.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable. That was pretty funny, but
all right. So listen, you're ready to go back to work. No problems coaching in Canada, right? And maybe in Ontario.
No, I guess no, not at all. I mean, anytime you can get to the a Canadian market, I think it's pretty special. Obviously, to be part of a Canadian market team and coach there. I want to make sure it's the right fit, and you got to have a good sense of your general manager and just the direction of the team and where they're at, and make sure it's a good fit. And because otherwise, you don't want to go into a bad situation, I don't believe, or someone you're not going to be working closely with, day in, day out.
Yeah, I could see you coaching a player like Brady Tkachuk. Yeah,
we're wishing for it.
I could see it. Yeah. I could see it.
Well, I think every coach would like to have a Brady Tkachuk.
Well, listen, we really appreciate your time. I don't think you're going to be out of work long, and we can't wait to see you back behind the bench again soon. Thanks for doing this.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
Craig
We appreciate
Berube.
it.
Take care.